bags. I love it. The tone on Tony looks so handsome. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. And not in New York. We were in LA last time.
I know.
So.
How's your family? How are you?
Everyone's well. Everyone's doing great. 2 of the kids are out of the house now, which is surreal.
Oh.
But yeah, so I have only 2 left. I'm a half-empty nester.
Yeah. And they should be kind of close to, like, to empty nester. I think the last 2, right? 117, right?
7. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well done.
I do my homework.
Sometimes I have to
I do my homework.
Yes, 17 and 13. I've got 1 boy left at home, and then my daughter Zoe.
Yeah, and your eldest is a musician, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool. What a talented family.
Thank you. I like to think so.
Yes. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Is everyone dating? Are you in that stage where you're like, oh no?
Oh, gosh. 2 of my boys are dating, which is very, very surreal for me. But...
It's a shame. It's a shame your family is unattractive. I'm like, good Lord.
Oh, my gosh. That's
First of all,
funny.
if I see these people at a lake, I'm running to hang out with you. I'm like, who are they?
I know, yeah, that's me with my 3 sons. Yeah, but dating is a completely different thing now than it was when I was
That's why I don't do it.
Yeah. You're well advised not to. No, I was trying to give my youngest son some dating advice the other day because he liked this girl who he's now with, upon my advice, I'd like to add.
Oh, nicely done.
But initially, all of my advice was like, oh my Dad, God, Dad, that's so gross. Every suggestion I would make, and I would just be like, you know, go up to her, make eye contact, talk to her, be polite, you know, ask her on a date. Oh my God, ask her? Like in front of her friends? Like, okay, take her to the side, not in front of her friends. What, like to the side, and then I'm talking to her, and her friends are over there. Oh my, Dad, that's so gross. I was like, how else are you going to?
How else is it gonna? Are you gonna send a pigeon? Or
but I know. Yeah. But what it is, they all have these phones now that have video, and so anytime you're doing anything with a girl, it could get videoed, it gets posted, it gets sent, and so they're all terrified of being publicized.
Rightly
into the world.
so.
True,
Rightly
but it's a
so,
shame. Some of the fun's gone out of it.
Yeah, but he took your advice.
He took my advice. I said, go watch a movie. He was like, really? Go watch a movie? I was like, oh, my gosh. Just go and watch a movie with her. They went to see Dune, and, and now they're dating.
Yeah. It is a funny date, though, right? When a first date to go to a movie, because, like, you don't talk. So it's like, why are you on the date? That's true. But it takes the nerves out, I guess.
But it's also proximity, right? It's the butterflies. You're sat next to them. Did her hand just graze my hand? Oh my gosh, you know, all of that. I remember it fondly.
I do not. I do. We had very different upbringings. Wait, is your daughter, is it the same with your daughter, dating?
Oh, no, don't say that. What? No, she's 13, and that's my little Zoe. I took her to a Blackpink concert. So cool. Yeah, that was her dressed up to go to a Blackpink concert.
I heard that you've actually taken on roles and like starting with female directors, like because of your daughter, right? Yeah,
well, I think, you know, I know I jest about the sexism part, but, you know, for me, in a lot of my work, you know, I look for work that centers people of color in a way that otherwise might not be the case. And that has been a mark of my work since I've been doing it now, 26 years now. But what was less of a focus for me was making sure that female stories were centered in the same way, especially when it comes to female directors. And when I had my Zoe, and I had to entertain the idea of her being marginalized on the basis of her gender, that was just completely unacceptable to me. And then it became evident to me that there were just all these amazing directors, producers, writers who are women who are just not getting the same shot because it's a bit of a boys' club. And so I made this very concerted effort to work with female directors to do projects that really showcase female stories. I actually did the film Queen of Cartway as a love story to my daughter. You know, because it centers an 11-year-old chess champion who's a girl. But then I went on this tear of working with 8, 9, maybe 10 now female directors, and it's because of my lovely Zoe.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The impact of that you probably didn't see coming. I mentioned Selma earlier. I heard that you actually went back recently, right?
Yeah, I went back to Selma, Alabama, not last weekend, but the weekend before. It's the celebration of the 60th anniversary of the march. And it was very bittersweet for me because saw the Pettus Bridge, and I was able to remember those heroes and what they achieved in terms of voting rights. But then the state of Selma, Alabama was really painful to me. And in that video that I posted, that was me in front of the Voting Rights Museum, which was completely broken down for sale, just in a dilapidated state. And I kind of made me ruminate over the state of what voting rights are these days in America, considering...
Like a physical metaphor.
It kind of was. Yeah. It symbolized something troubling. So anyway, bittersweet.
Yeah. All right, well, let's do a quick commercial because we have to pay bills.
Yeah, do that.
We have someone in the audience to help us.
Hi, Kelly and David. My name is Obi, and like you, I had Nigerian parents. Growing up, I had 3 career options: to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer. I'm sure you could relate. Didn't follow that path, and I'm sure you didn't either. I love my career in finance right now, and I guess we're both doing all right. Stay here. There's more with Kelly and David after this.
We are back with David Oyelowo, and that was a look at his new series, Government Cheese. It's on Apple TV+. So tell us about this series. There's a very interesting scene. Tell us about your character.
Yeah, so I play Hampton Chambers, who at the beginning of the show, we see him in prison. In the middle of his time being incarcerated, he has this religious epiphany. God gives him this vision of a self-sharpening drill that he invents, and it's going to be the means by which he helps his family out of the challenges they've been facing. But what he doesn't realize is they've moved on emotionally and otherwise while he's been in prison, and so a lot of the show is him trying to work his way back into their affections.
A lot of humor to be had, is what I'm saying.
Yes,
so wait, before she passed, your mom always had interesting reviews about your work. So what do you think she'd think of this?
Oh gosh, my mom, she would love this right up until the moment my character kisses Simone Missick in the show. My mom could never get her head around the fact that it is make-believe. Oh. So if I kissed a woman, she'd be like, you are having an affair in front of everybody. So it was like, no.
Shame on your family.
Like, literally, like my wife is sat next to me at the screening.
This is called acting.
Yes, yes, literally. No, she could never. And if I died in something, no matter how good it was, she would come up to me, she would smack me. Why did you let me watch that, Have to see my son die again. So I was like...
Again.
Right, sorry.
So, just to recap, not dead, acting.
Yes, exactly.
This
yes,
is
literally
amazing.
stood in front of you, Mummy. But no.
I love that. Well, like your character in this series, you've had messages from God in real life, right?
Yeah. I'm a Christian. I have a very, very real relationship with the Lord myself, and so the divine has been a big part of my
constant thing.
Yeah. Marrying my wife, all the names of my children were given to us before they were.
There was one
born.
that was interesting with Zoe, though, right? Before you.
Yeah, there was. So literally before they were conceived, Asher, which means happy and blessed one, he embodies his name. Caleb, which means bold, strong, and tenacious, he embodies his name. He came along. Peniel, which means face of God, absolutely came along. That's my son. But we thought we were done at three kids. And so we were like, oh, that's great. I'm one of 3. We had 3 perfect. And so I heard that voice again say the word Zoe. And I was like, la, 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 la. Don't, no, we've had enough.
Yeah.
That's it. And
You're already outnumbered.
Yes, exactly. But it happened an evening in church, and I know that voice. So I was very restless all night. I was like, oh, gosh, I don't think I can ignore this. I woke up the next morning, went up to my wife. I'm really restless. She knows me very well. She's like, are you okay? I said, there's something I've got to tell you. Yeah. She's in the middle of journaling when I walk up to her, and she turns her journal around with the name Zoe circled.
That's great.
Before I'd even said it. And so that's how we knew, okay, I guess we're having a daughter called Zoe. To the point whereby we went for the 12-week scan, which is the first time you would know the sex of the child. Yeah. And the nurse said, do you want to know if it's a boy or a girl? We went, oh, no, we know, it's a girl. She went, how can you know? It's a 12-week scan. This would literally be the first time you could know. We went, oh, it's a girl. And then she does the whole thing. He goes, and she was so annoyed for some reason. She was like, yeah, it's a girl.
She's annoyed because you have a direct line to God,
That's
man.
what it is. It was jealousy, basically.
A lot of us would love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Is it, I heard that it's true that you got into acting, is it because of a pastor's daughter? Is this?
It was.
What's that story?
Yeah, there was the church I went to as a kid. I had no thought of being an actor. Like our friend here, they had 3 sons. It was a lawyer, doctor, engineer.
Yeah.
What is that with Nigerians? What's with the lawyer, doctor, engineer? Anyway.
And what's with the low expectations in the South?
Right.
No one was like, you're going to be an engineer.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess we should be happy then.
Yeah.
But yes, I was supposed to be the lawyer, but I had this girl. She used to work the overhead projector at church. I never listened to a sermon for a good 1.5 years because all I was focused on was her. And she invited me on what I thought was a date. But it was actually to go to a youth theater where they were low on boys, and she wanted to ingratiate herself with the director. And so she took me along, and that's where I fell in love with acting.
That's so cool.
And I ended up dating her sister.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's a story there.
I know.
So wait, so you're originally from the UK, but you also grew up in Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
So what's like something like culture-wise? I love traveling. My kids, I always say, you guys have no idea how blessed you are because we get to go all over the world. They get to see different cultures, different languages. But what's something cool about Nigeria? Like what's like a cool custom or thing in culture or phrase that y'all would say? Like what's something cool to know about?
Well, the thing I loved about growing up in Nigeria, and it was the case for, I'm sure, people here as well, but just being outside all the time. It was a time pre all these devices that everyone's on. And I just remember my youth being me running around barefoot for hours on end. I mean, I had the soles of my feet were like leather because I was just outside all the time. Yeah. And we always found ways to just make something out of nothing. You know, I remember having this coat hanger that we would turn into this means by which you would take a bicycle tire, you'd take the tube off, and you'd use this coat hanger to keep it
upright,
oh, yeah. and then running around the neighborhood. And we would do that for hours, hours and hours and hours. So just, I don't know, it makes me go back to a more innocent, free time.
Oh, I love that. So wait, there are phrases that speak to the culture though, right?
Yeah.
Like what kind of phrases? I heard about these.
Oh, yeah. So we would probably, now, if we went back to Nigeria now, the moment they saw us, we would be called Ajebota. Ajebota is like an eater of butter.
Oh.
I love how
not the first time that someone's
trying to say it. She went,
Ajebota?
Butter?
Butter? You said butter.
And yeah, but someone who eats butter is like a softie. You know, we would be straight off the boat. They would know exactly that we were the types who would not be running around barefoot. You know.
I love butter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
I'm like, hell yeah, add some more. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah, it tastes good. We need another break, though, y'all. David's new series is called Government Cheese. You can see it on Apple TV+. The first 2 episodes are actually available for the first week without a subscription when you go to Apple TV+.